4 campus right now. This is my campus. Kamphangsam is called to be the campus or the main campus of the university. And we also have another campus in northeast of Thailand. And also in the east of Thailand, we also have the Srirasa campus. And this is our campus. And this is the animal farm and field. And we have maybe more than 600 hectares for this campus. And this is the number of the students in our campus, not in our campus, in our university is quite a big university about the agriculture and forestry. But I'm from agriculture, so maybe a little bit different from you, but we are the biological science, maybe we learn together. Maybe if you would like to travel to Thailand, so please visit our campus in the middle part of Thailand. This is some picture from our campus. Maybe I would like to teach you now. Okay. Okay, this will to the lessons that Dr. Tommy already told you that I will teach you about plants respond to the abiotic stress. You can see the picture from here. This is what's of this condition. Please guess. From the picture is drought. Yeah. How about this one? This is the water. This is the forest in Japan. Can you guess? Some tea is very bad here. Maybe after this you can, after you learn from me, you can know what's happened with this forest. And how about this? How about this? How to say in like the word in the forestry about this land? Clear cutting, yes, it's clear cutting. Plant here, and it will cause the like a landslide. Right? And this is freezing. You can see the snow lot. And this called the abiotic stress. It's like an environmental stress for plants. And what is the cause for the abiotic stress that we have to learn? Because right now, as you know, that the world population has been increasing, and we, not only me and all of you also, we cause the high greenhouse gas effect to the world because we use the many resources, right? So, and actually in the normal, it has the natural greenhouse effects, but the heat can escape from our world. But right now, according to many people around the world, spend a lot of the resource and cause many things. So that has been caused the greenhouse effect. It's like that. It's higher and rapidly. What is after the greenhouse effect is will cause the climate change. It's almost similar. And as I told you, that's because of the human influence. We can, right now it's happened already, but we cannot deny about this, but we can slow the happen. It will be the future. What is happening around the climate change? This, as you know, that the climate change is the greenhouse gas effect is caused the high temperature, right? High temperature, the increasing of the temperature. And the high temperatures also cause what is caused to the world, our world? Or it's just normal? Can you feel the temperature in your country that is increasing? Can you feel that?
Yes.
How about the rain or hurricane is increasing? It's happened in your country or no?
It's hard to tell the difference in England with so much rain already.
Pardon?
So in England, there's so much rain already, it's hard to tell.
Yeah, it's changing, right? And yeah, it's caused many things because it changed because of the air and the gas in the atmosphere is changed, so it's caused many things. And also it will affect on our vegetation, both the forestry and also the agriculture. And this is the picture. Maybe I try to find the newest one. Yes, last year, this is the temperature that you can see the red one. If it's more red, it means it's the higher temperature that's caused around the world. Here it's increasing. Also China. And how about Indonesia? Yeah, right. As you can see here. Yeah. We also, the temperature in our country is also increasing and is higher than the normal. It's maybe 1 or 2 degrees Celsius. This is the average. So that means 1 degree Celsius is very high. If you and it's the change about almost 1 degree Celsius since 200 almost about 150 years ago. This can change many things in our world. And how about the mountains culture change? The sea level has been increasing right now because of the mountain glacier as melt, so that increase the water in the sea. And it also affects the precipitation of the rain in some area is near normal, but some area is the rain is increasing, and also the hurricane is happening in some area that never happened before. And another thing is happened that the rain was decreasing, especially in Thailand. Last year we met with the drought stress in many areas in Thailand, so we cannot go rice production in last year. And this is the water stress or the drought area that have been increasing. In the red one, it means the higher water stress because as I told you, the world population has been increased and we use a lot of water, right? Not only drink, but we use for the daily life or many things. And we also need the food, and the food from plants is need the water also, right? So that cause the reduction of the water, available water for us. And this is the significant climate anomaly and event in last year. And you can see some area has the typhoon in many area, and this is the red one is the high temperature that never happened before and it's very high. Such as in India, in Asia, and many places. And also the glacier mountains are already melt in some area. And why we study? Because it's change and its impact on many things. First of all, its impact on us, on our health. But for this course, I will focus only on the agriculture and forest impact because that is our issue, right? And another is also impact on the water resource, impact on the coastal area and the species and natural area. Have you ever studied about the climate change on the forestry or something like this?
Yes.
Or the damage of the forestry? Right?
Yes.
It's important or not?
Important.
It's affect a lot or just a little bit for the forestry? Is that in effect, right?
Yes.
Okay. This is the example of the climate change that impact. This is one of the impact that the high temperature and low humidity is can cause the forest fire and the extreme weather. In Thailand, I found that last 5 years the weather was changed and sometimes it's extreme weather, like in Thailand never cold before in the central part of Thailand, but in 2013 it's very cold, maybe it's almost 5 or 10 degrees Celsius in Thailand in the middle part, but we never met that before, so it's changed a lot, and that impact on the agriculture, on plants also. And this is impact the productivity of the plants that we grow for the food, for the industry, because it's not only impact directly to the productivity, but also impact to the author. I mean, because of the it's not directly but indirectly, like an impact to the water resource, and then we cannot grow the food. Maybe in the future the fruits or vegetable is will increase the price, and this cause a lot of the impact on the agricultural productivity. And I will show you later. Okay. For the environmental stress, they define as a two things. First is abiotic stress. This is because of the stress that's caused by the living organism, like fungi, bacteria, parasite, or the weed, or the native plant. But maybe some of you may know about this a lot in the forest, maybe you have to know. And another thing that is very important and we cannot control it is abiotic stress, because it is like a negative impact of the non-living factor, like the weather, atmosphere, environment, something like this. We cannot control it. The abiotic stress consists of the radiation, the temperature, the high temperature and low temperature that can impact on the plants. Water stress in both rain, drought, and also flooding. And chemical stress like salt stress in some area. Indonesia has the salinity soil in Indonesia. Do you have it? We do have salinity soil.
Saline soil.
Soil saline or something like that.
Saline, so salty soils.
Salty soil. It is Indonesia.
So mangroves, do you have mangroves in Indonesia? Mangroves and peat swamps, so yeah, there will be saline soils around.
Okay. In Thailand, we have a lot in the northeast of Thailand, so we have to learn about this. And also, another thing that also important, but it may not impact us right now, is air pollution. It's just impact in some area that is kind of pollution. Okay, this is the picture of difference between the effect of the abiotic stress on rice and plants. This is the salinity, this is dry, this is cold, and this is heat. So this different response of plant to the abiotic stress, to the each stress, and they have the many mechanisms to respond about this. And how plant respond to the abiotic stress is the many factors that determine how plants respond to the environmental stress. Plants is clever thing, I think, because they can adapt, they can respond in the variety of mechanisms. But it depends on the stress characteristic. First is the severity, the level of severity. And second is the duration. If it's severe stress, they can tolerate only short time. But if it's not severe, maybe they can adapt and adjust themselves to be in that stress. And also the number of the exposure that they face to the stress condition. And another thing, in the natural, you find the combination of the stress, such as in the rice area, is if you don't have the water enough, they will got the drought stress. And also at that time, if it's in the summer season, it's the high temperature that is combined in both high temperature and drought stress condition that more impact on plants. And also plants, the plant genetic and plant characteristic is also have the different response to the stress, to the each stress. The response is have the 2 or 3 ways. If it's susceptible, it cannot survive, it will be die, it will be dead. But some plants or some variety or some genetic, it can resistant or tolerance, it can be survive and grow and grow. So we have to find this one, the resistant or the tolerance one, to be survive for the future. And this is the picture that the plant respond to stress in from the cell to the whole organism. At first, they will recognize the stress, and they will send the signal from the cell and send to the some organ, and change the physiological. If it can adapt and change it, it can be survived, and it will show in the whole plant. And this is some of the example of the plant that can resistant or tolerance. Right, as you know, this sakura, you know, and this one is the this is plants. This can be in the grow in the ground, grow with not much water. And this Spanish, this can turn to the freeze, and black sprout is can turn to the cold. But the resistance of the plant is not only tolerance, but it's some mechanism that's called avoidance, and it's quite different, and I will show you later. And as I told you that the climate change is because of the increasing of the carbon dioxide of the gas, and this also impact to the plant, but you can see it will be good or not for plants. The plants, you know that the plants have 3 types of plants from the photosynthesis, like a C4, C3, and clam. And clam is we not forget about that because it's very less. But we focus on the C4 and C3. And from these, you can see the difference between the C4 and C3. Because C3 at the same carbon dioxide concentration, the C3 cannot absorb, cannot use the carbon dioxide efficiently. But if the carbon dioxide increase, it can catch the carbon dioxide as a photosynthesis system. So, and it means if you can increase the carbon dioxide, the C3 can catch and can produce more sugar for food for growing, right? How about the forestry? In the forest, you have the C3 and C4. How many kind of species of C3 and C4? How many percent of C4 in the forest? No C4. Really, no C4 in the forest. Actually, it's C3 or C4 plants.
In Malaysia, it's depend on the plants and the soils itself. If peat swamp, there will be C4. If the normal tropical rainforest, it contains C3. It's like that because peat swamp is already sedimented a lot of carbon, so then the plants will be C4.
Okay. So this is the difference of the species of plants. Thank you. And this is, I would like to show you if this one is different. This is the ambient carbon dioxide condition. It's like in the normal like this. And this is the high carbon dioxide concentration. We add the carbon dioxide. And in the C3 show that the net photosynthesis is increased almost like a C4, but the C4 is cannot increase. Why?
Just it's physiology.
It's physiology because of the C4, it can catch very well. Although it have the less carbon dioxide, and it that cannot catch more, so thereby is the level of photosynthesis like this. But C3 it has the photorespiration. You know what is, right? You already studied about the physiology. Photorespiration, you know, is the oxygen with the rubisco attached together, right? And this is the, when we increase the carbon dioxide, it will replace to oxygen, and the C3 can use this carbon dioxide and increase the photosynthesis. So that means if the carbon dioxide increase, it means it will be good for C3, right? Because it can catch, it can produce the food. Yeah, but its impact on water. This is the, in C3, the photosynthesis increase, photorespiration decrease, and dry matter biomass is increased. Biomass accumulation is increased. As the physiology is the stomatal pressure will increase, aspiration is will decrease, and it can increase the water use efficiency. But this is not happen with the C4 plants. And this is the example from the that the dry wells increase a lot from the double carbon dioxide concentration. So it's good for the C3 plant. And in the agriculture area, some place we will grow the plants in the greenhouse and add the carbon dioxide in the greenhouse to help them to produce more fruit, more photosynthesis, more biomass. But in the forest, maybe dangerous, right? Because the fire of the forest. Another impact is like the radiation. If we talk to the radiation or light, it's like electromagnetic radiation. Is we will think about the intensity and the wavelength and the frequency. That is also an impact on the plants. So we focus on the energy, radiation energy, like the intensity. This will be impact on the energy budget and water loss in plants, and also the photosynthesis and the photomorphogenesis, also the chlorophyll synthesis, the right control the seed germination, the stem elongation, the expansion, and the plant mechanism. The UV is the, okay, I have to tell you first. Okay, the plants, the light actually, I mean the daily light is between the 200 to 2000 nanometer outside, but the plants you use only from 100 to 700 nanometer. It will be used by plants for the photosynthesis. And the UV is here. The plant will face about that. If it's high UV, UVA, UV, UVC, it will impact on the plants. It's direct effect to the protein and nucleic acid. And this not only impact on the plant, it's also an impact on the living things on the world. I mean, it's animal or people also. And inhibit the cell division and elongation. And inactivation of the auxin. Auxin is very important for plants. It's like a hormone, phytohormone for plant to expand to cell division, something like that. This is very important. While the UVA will increase the photosynthesis and respiration, but it will inhibit the shoot elongation and retard the growth for the plant. But maybe in your area, I mean in Indonesia and in Thailand, we not found the high UVA, UVB in our country. I mean, it's not affect much as some area in Australia, maybe that we have like some area that has the high UVA and UVB. But the important for the plants and also in the forestry, I think is about the intensity of the irradiance, the low light and the high light is will be impact for the plant growth. So this is the low irradiance. It is temporary stress, just short time. It will altering photosynthetic affinity. It will like terminate photosynthesis and produce new leaf. It will induce to producing new leaf. And if its plants can adapt, it will be cause the lowering light compensation point. It means like it will induce that plant to adapt to the low light intensity. If it's plant. And for the long-term stress, it will cause the carbon balance in the plants. It will increase the photosynthesis rate, decrease the respiration rate, and decrease the light compensation point. increased leaf area. This is the will happen for the long-term stress for the shading. And this is the for the long-term stress, the plants will be adapt and change the morphology also. This is the sun plants and this is the shade plant. It's the same plants. If it will be shade, the plants will high leaf area ratio and low root shoot ratio, and leaf orientations will be like this: low photosynthetic capacity, low compensation point of irradiance, because the low light can cause the low photosynthesis, right? And no have food to expand the cell. The cell will be thick, more thick, and we have the high chlorophyll. It will accumulate in chlorophyll. So it means in the shade plant you can see the more green than the sun plants, something like that. And this is from the fungus. This is in the sun plants, A and D. Fungus, two types of fungus. It's in the sun plants, and this is shade, temporary shade, sometimes. And this shading for a long time. So you can see the difference of the thickness of the leaf. This is the shade plants that I already said that is the impact to the photosynthetic activities of the plants and the mechanism. And this is the light response of the peak of the rainforest seedling. You can see the difference of the black one. You can see the four kind of the forest. Rainforest seedling is respond in the different way because it's the different kind of plant, different species. Maybe some plant is the shade plant, some plant is the sun plants. The shade plant is mean they love the low light intensity, but the sun plant is they can grow well in the sun. So you can see it needs the different light intensity and can uptake the carbon dioxide in a different way. And this, if you compare the biomass of the sun and the shade, it will show the difference from the sun and the shade condition. So it means the light intensity, the light of the irradiance is important for grow the plant. So you have to know your plant what they love. There is the shade plants or there is the sun plants. I think in the forestry already teach you about this. This is the shade plant. You have to grow under the big tree or something like that, right? Another condition is like a temperature. This is the temperature response of C3 and C4. The C3 is love to be in a little bit more cold than C4. And the stress from the temperature has two things. Is the low temperature is like freezing, and high temperature is too hot for them. You have to know what they love, what they can grow, something like that. This is the example of the growth state that impact on the plants. It will inhibit the growth. It will cause the plasma membrane degradation. It means it's because of the membrane of the plant in the plants is like included with the lipid and protein. If freezing or low temperature, it will freeze the lipid. The nutrient cannot go in and go out, something like that. It will freeze. So it impacts the cell. And the solute is leakage. The metabolite is dysfunction. So, and this, if the plant can adapt, can change during the closed stage or the freezing or chill, or for low temperature stress is have to be. Its first chilling stage is the temperature is higher than 0 degrees Celsius. For the freezing stress is lower than 0 degrees Celsius. Here, this happened before freezing stress. Okay. But in Europe or America or in the north, is have this and it can cause the damage from the plants in some plants. But maybe in this area, in Southeast Asia and also my country, will cause this chilling stress. But some plants can adapt, can survive in the low temperature because it can tolerate, it can adapt, it can change, it can produce detoxify the oxygen species that can induce, and also it have the strong plasma membrane which can tolerate to the cold stress. And this is the example, the loss of the chlorophyll due to the chilling. You can see this is the percent of chlorophyll that decreased from the chilling. And this is the example from Thailand in 2014. This is the paddy rice field in Thailand. You can see the difference color here. It's very yellow and it's very green. In this area, faced with the low temperature in Thailand, 10 to 25 degrees Celsius for 2 weeks. Can you guess? This is the same stage, same age of the rice plants, but different response. Can you guess what? Why? Why is cantorans? Because of why is different?
What between the plants, so why did it didn't grow?
This plant can survive.
Why that plant was okay? So you're asking, sorry, why is the one plant okay and the other plant not?
Yes.
Has genetic attributes that allow it that are expressed during cold, which allow it to then thicken its membrane.
Yes.
All those kinds.
Yes, you're correct. Because of the difference of the genetic, different variety of rice in this paddy field and this. So this is very susceptible to the cold temperature, but this is can tolerance. Although this is may not very low temperature, but it can impact to the rice in Thailand. Another impact from the temperature is the high temperature or heat stress. This is very, this very high impact in Thailand in the last 4 or 5 years. And right now and for the future, because the temperature is increasing, the average temperature in Thailand also increased, and also in this area also increased. The heat will be damaged by the inhibit the growth. The cell also will be damaged. As I told you, for the freezing, the lipid will be freeze, right? But for the high temperature, the lipid also can melt, right? So that means the membrane is not in the normal condition. So if the cell membrane is not in the normal, the function or the mechanism in the cell was different, right, from the normal. So the photosynthesis can be reduced. The cell division cannot. So it's impact to the growth and the productivity. As I told you that the heat or the high temperature can denature the protein and membrane, so that impact a lot on the whole plants, from the cell to the whole plants. And this is the example of the heat spread effect on the corn. You can see it's burned the leaf or leaf like this. And this is the example of the heat stress on the corn that can reduce the photosynthesis, the chlorophyll, the accumulation of the growth. This can reduce. The highest temperature in Indonesia, how many degrees of the highest temperature in here? 32. The average temperature or the highest? The maximum? 32?
It must be higher than 30. I've seen it at 31. It must be higher than 30.
Not so hot in Thailand. In Thailand, in summer season, sometimes in the outside, like this, in the outside, in the strong radiation like this, maybe in the summer season, it will be more than 40 degrees Celsius. So, if you would like to travel to Thailand, just think about this. Maybe in the rainy season, this will be good, or the cold season in Thailand will be good. But summer is very hot. Another condition is water stress. This is very important. The water stress can be defined as could one is the water deficit. This means the plants do not receive enough of water for growth and development. In the normal condition, when the plant grows here like this, and we already add the water, but sometimes if it's the strong condition like a high temperature, high radiation, the plant also can, the water deficit can happen in the daily night also, but in the short time. It depends on the root capacity to absorb and uptake the water, and the less soil water potential, or the water uptake and translocation. It means it's because of the soil, the water in the soil, the plants, and the environment, the condition. This is the example of the factor determining plants' water stress. Is because of the soil water availability. It depends on the type of the soil. If the sand soil cannot withhold the water, So it can be cause the water stress much more than the gray soil or something like that. But it depends. It depends on the type of the soil. Second factor is the atmospheric demand, like a light, temperature, humidity. Water pressure deficit is calculated from temperature and humidity. Wind. It also can cause the water stress. And another thing is the genotype of plants. This is very important. That you have to find the good plant for your condition. So you have to find the drought tolerant plants for the drought area, flood tolerant plants for the flood area. The genotype of plant is like they have the difference in the resistance to water flood. The root is also important to uptake the water. The type of root, the silence of the plant, this is from the genotype. And this I would like to show that is from the forest because from the agriculture I will have like the agriculture. I know about the agriculture, but I will try to find the impact of the drought on the forest for me also. Like this, it shows many pests that the forest died out because of the semi-arid region is happening. In the past, it's the mountain, it's have the rain, but right now, this area is become the semi-arid area. So some area, the forest is down there. We have to think about this, how to manage. It's the next step for thinking about this. And this is the effect of the water stress on the plants. It's reduce the water content, the water potential in the plants, reduce the phytohormone as a cytokinin, but it increase the acetic acid. And it's the acetic acid. When it's increased the acetic acid, it can induce the stomatal process. And then the photosynthesis will be decreased because of the stomatal process and affect to the other mechanism. Leaf will building and it will be damaged later. And this is the sensitivity of the water deficit. Maybe you can learn about this later. I will give the slide to the Dr. Tommy. Okay, maybe if you prints or give to you. And this is the effect of plants mechanism as I told you. If the water deficit or no available water enough for the plants, the photosynthetic physiology will be decreased. The carbon accumulation will be decreased. Energy use will be decreased. And occur the symptom. But the plants is quicker. Some plant can escape from the drought. Like it will be rapid phenological development. It will be developed the plasticity in some plants or extend the dormancy. Like fall down the leaf, but it can survive, something like that. And second thing, drought tolerance. In some plants is drought tolerance with low water potential. This kind of plant can maintain the burger potential or can maintain the water inside the plants by the osmotic adjustment or increase elastic module or something. It can survive. Or reduce the plasmodesmata or something like that as the field plasmodesmata to reduce the water use in the plants. And with the high water potentials, it will be reduce the water loss by decrease the leaf conductance, decrease the canopy leaf area. It's mean like that. For the leaf, some leaves will be damaged and then fall down. For the stem, it can be survived, something like that. And enhance the water accumulation by increased root density or depth, such as in rice. In some plants, after drought, it will be increased the root depth or something like that, or increase the hydraulic conductance in the plants. From drought to flooding. I think you're so familiar with this kind of plants, right? Like white mangrove, black mangrove, and west mangrove. This is very adapt very well in the flood area. But it's in different ways. You can see the black mangrove, they will have like the root like this, but the red mangrove, they don't have the root like this. It's because of the species of the plant that can adapt in the condition. The flood duration is important as can separate into two, permanent and temporary. For the permanent flooding, like a maize mangrove and swamp, can be grown. For the agriculture, it's a rice paddy. But in rice paddy, we also have the upland rice and lowland rice. It's different. Upland rice cannot grow well in the lowland or in the flood. And lowland rice or the flood, in the lowland rice cannot grow well in the upland, something like that. Also, it's like that. The species, the genetic of plants is important for the plant to be in the good condition. And this is the natural root. This is some plant that can survive in the temporary flooding. And this also separate the kind of plant that like a flood tolerance plant, wetland plants. Maybe this is not the forest, but you can learn about this. It's very sensitive plants like a tomato, pea, and soybeans. Very sensitive. If they get the flood, 1 or 2 or 3 days will be down or something like that. And this is the effect of the flooding on plant function. It will be effect on the respiration. The flooding is not because of the high water, but it's impact because of the less oxygen for plants. Plants need the oxygen for the respiration. So if we don't have the oxygen during the flood, it means it cannot produce the energy like ATP for move of the nutrient or move the water or something like that. So this is very important for plants. But if the plant can't produce the energy, it will be okay. If it can have the oxygen, some plants can do that. And for the photosynthesis, why I so focus on the photosynthesis, because of this is very important mechanism for plants to produce the food, to produce the sugar, to produce the source of the source for the plant energy or something like that. It's very important. The flooding will decrease the stomatal conductance or stomata process and inhibit the carbohydrate translocation, because when the stomata close, the transpiration, the water in the plant cannot move right. Actually, the nutrient will go with the water during the transpiration, and also the carbohydrate also translocate because of the transpiration. If it's closed, stomata closed, everything stops, right? Everything stops because it cannot move. But actually, the stomata is not closed like the door that we close. It just have like a small pore, something like that. But it can inhibit the carbohydrate translocation and inhibit the growth of the plants. By the way, during the flooding, if the plants have the carbohydrate for make the energy, it can be survive for a while. And also its impact to the phytohormone, it will be increase the abscisic acid. And also impact, as I told you already, impact to the water relation, to absorb the water, to induce the water to the throat. And also the movement of the nutrient is cannot move well. This is the adaptation for the plants, like rice. This can adapt when there is flooding, like this. This can elongate to change by the morphology and root location, like this. And this another change is the flooding can cause the arrangement in some plants. If that plants can signal and can cause the arrangement, it can be survived. Like this. This is the same plant, but this is the after flooding. The cell will be dyed and have the pore and have the air inside. The plant can use this air, the oxygen in the air. And another plant is can have like the root, like a red or something like that, that have the root go out to the water, and they will take the oxygen from the outside, like this. Also plants, they will have like a lenticel, the pore in the stem. It will be like this, and if it have the pore, so that means oxygen can go to the stem, the plant can use that oxygen too. And this is the root, rhizophyra. Or some plant is will, because of the flooding can affect to the phytohormone. Another phytohormone is ethylene. Some plant will be like this because of the synthesis, the ethylene, like the leaf acid. Also, some plants can adapt very well for long time, like the locust. The leaf of the locust will be like this. It's very have the big very big pore in the lake or something. This is the hydrophyte. How we know the water in the soil? It's very difficult because we cannot know that in this area is wet or not. If we see, sometimes we can see, oh, it's wet, but inside, I mean in the depth, at the root zone of the plant, it's very difficult to know that it is have enough water or not. Right now, they have many types of the sensor to measure the soil water potential or soil moisture. It will be like this. It's like tensiometer or water map. You can put it in the soil and you can know, oh, this is a lot of water during this time, and it's very dry, so we have to put to add the water, to give the water to our plant, something like that. But this is for the research. But in Thailand, we also use these in the orchard fruit, like a mangosteen fruit, or like a durian orchard or something like that. Or oil palm. But for instance, I'm not sure maybe they study for like a research. And another stress is like a salt stress, is the salinity. This is complex more than the drought stress because it's the combine of the drought and the salinity or chemical. So the physiological is similar, physiological response is quite similar to the drought stress, but more severe than drought stress because of the sodium and chloride is high. So the sodium and chloride will toxic to the cell and damage the cell and can cause the decrease of the plant healing. And this is the detail of the effect of salt stress on plants. Like in the primary, in the short time, it will cause the water deficit. And the ion, like potassium and sodium, will be reduced in the cell because the sodium will move from the soil to the root. And chloride also move from the soil to the root. This will be impact to the ion balance in the cell or in the plants. In the secondary, we will reduce the cell expansion, aspiration, production, membrane function, or anything is quite similar. But this is very, I think it's like a physiology. Very physiology for you, maybe too much for you, I know. And this is the example of the effect of the salinity to the plants that can reduce the growth and biomass or yield. And some kind of plant can be tolerant to the salinity soil, like a barley. This can be tolerant in the high electrical conductivity, but like bean is very sensitive. Rice and also very sensitive. Maybe you can see from this. The last one is air pollution. Maybe you will interest or not, I'm not sure. This is the source of the air pollution. Is the most of the air pollution is like carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, nitrous oxide, sulfur dioxide, nitrogen dioxide. This is the primary pollutants in the atmosphere, and now it's also have this pollutants. But maybe it's a low level of this kind of gas. The secondary pollutants after the sunshine is will because the sulfuric acid, hydrogen peroxide, and ozone. This is the important air pollutants right now. And this is caused by our activities. The most of the air pollutant is from the industry, from the factory, like this, and also transportation, and from the household also. A little bit, but most of them is from the industry. In some country, they have the policy to limit the source of the air pollutants. It's good, like in Japan. They have the policy maybe 30 years ago, and right now it's very clean air. But 30 or 50 years ago, it's very dirty air, atmosphere. My professor in Japan have been told me that in the maybe 50 years ago, when I sit here and you over there, I cannot see your face because of the smoke. Yeah, that's very old. But it's not happening here. In Thailand also not yet. Hopefully it will not happen. Okay. The most important pollutants right now is like ozone. It's the same ozone but in the different place. Like right now we are in the troposphere. Here from the earth to the top height about 20 kilometers. This is we call the troposphere. And upper is stratosphere. This is a good ozone to protect the UV to our place. But the ozone in troposphere is not good ozone. It's bad, not only for plants but also for us, for women, because of the respiratory system or this will be impact on that. And this is the tropospheric ozone that can impact to the crop and forest. And also ozone not only impact directly to the plants damage, but also it can cause another chemical secondary pollutants like hydrogen peroxide or peroxides in the atmosphere. And these combined with the ozone can cause the more plant damage. And also can cause the acid deposition, but right now I think the acid deposition is very rare in the world. Because of the policy more than 10 or 20 years ago that they found the acid deposition, acid rain in some place that has the high sulfur dioxide in that area, and they try to control the government control the industry to prohibit about that, and then it's clean air. Right now it's okay, I think, but just some area. And this is the major impact of the air pollutant to plants. It's also, as I told you, it's impact the human health, especially the ozone and the particulate matter or that very small dust. Here, maybe, do you have the small dust or smoke? Yes, right, some place, right? In Thailand also. I would like to show you the situation of the air pollutants. This is my field when I study in Japan. I study about the impact of the apple plant on the soybean. And right now, the mean of tropospheric nitrogen dioxide, this is Thailand, and this is the Indonesia. Our country is very less emit the nitrogen dioxide. You can see, cannot see well, but this area is very red. This means this emit the high nitrogen dioxide. This area is China. It's China, and this also impact to the Japan. Japan is here. We have the Chinese student. Japan is okay. Chinese student, maybe no. Okay, that's good. This is the fact. Okay. This is the fact. We cannot. You can see it's like a cold. Sometimes you can listen to the news that in the Beijing we have the very smoke. Yeah, it's very, yes, this from the Beijing. And this 1996, and this 2002, and now it's increasing. But the Chinese already left from the growth of the how can I say in English, I forget about it. It's a group for the environmental people who study about the applicants. They left that group, they left that policy to protect their country. So we cannot see the data like this. And also another applicant is we call the volatile organic compound like a benzene or butadiene. This is emit a lot from the industry. So you can see the data. This Southeast Asia, all of Southeast Asia, and you can see it compared to this Southeast Asia, the yellow one. Many countries in Southeast Asia, and compared to the China. My mother, my grandmother, she came from China also, but this. But now in Thai. Okay, this is the situation of sulfur dioxide, as I told you, is decreasing from maybe from 20s or more than 30 years ago, starting increasing. And this nitrogen oxides, this is from the US. And another cause, another place, another source of the apple plant is also from USA, and some place in Europe that has the many industry area that also have the high apple plant. But I think the government will be controlled by that the policy. And as for the ozone, right now it has happened in many places, but except in Thailand and Southeast Asia, it's still okay. But in Thailand, from the data from the government of Thailand, also we found that sometimes in Thailand during the summer, the ozone concentrations has been increased, and is higher than the standard level for the people. And you can see the red one is the northern from the equator here. So this impact a lot for the human health and plants in that area. In Japan, USA, but I don't know about the the Europe and only in Japan and USA. I mean the real leaf. And this is show the trend of ozone concentration in Thailand have been increasing the average. And you can see the resident area side is higher than the road side. So it's mean from the resident area. And what is the air pollutant is harmful to plants? Maybe 3 important air pollutants that are harmful to plants: nitrogen dioxide, nitric acids, and ammonia, and sulfur dioxide and ozone. Is very important and harmful to plants, and also peroxides. This is the level of the harmful for the plants, and this is the level for the ozone, sulfur dioxide, and nitrous oxide. It will be decrease the dark matter productions without the physical injury. You cannot see it will show the injury or not, but it will be reduced or decrease the yield component and increase the senescence. If you can see the visible injury, that is very high level of the apparition. This is the symptom of the acute toxicity. Here you have the let's see. I forgot the word in English. Just forget it. This is the symptom of the acute toxicity. Sulfur dioxide will cause the corrosive. Nitrogen oxide will cause the brown or black spot. Intervene or the marginal, you can see. Ozone is will cause many symptoms like a white, yellow, or brown on the surface of the leaf. HF will cause the tip burn or marginal necrosis. This I can show you some picture of the effect of the some pollutant. This the nitrogen oxide and ammonia. This is in Poland. Poland is have a lot of effect from the pollutants. And this picture from Poland. This is the forest, really, right? Right, this forest here. And this also impact of the nitrogen nitrous. You can see the sprout spot. Or maybe you can see, if sometimes you can see from your press, maybe, I'm not sure. This will be behind. This is the sulfur dioxide. This will be caused like this, the brown spot. Yeah, and this is the pinus, or the white pine, in the Canada. This damage of the white pine. This is the effect of the ozone. This is the ozone injury symptom on many kind of plants. You can see this difference. It's difference. It depends on the plants. It depends on the species. You can see. Okay. Now there are many researchers that they study about the impact of the ozone because this is the second important air pollutant for plants. So this is from USA. They study on the open top chamber system and at the ozone concentration here. They study a lot about soybean because its impact a lot in North Carolina and in some area in Japan, in Tiwati, they study this system with the forestry because it's impact a lot on the forestry in Japan. And this is many kind of the tea species, and it have the different response. This is the percent decreasing of biomass. You can see it depends on plant. So that means some species sensitive to the ozone, but some species can tolerance. This is my thesis. I not study only ozone, but also study with the peroxide to see the combined effect of the ozone and peroxide because it's happened together. High ozone is high peroxide, and it can combine the high impact to the plants. And this the concentration you can see as I told you is correlated, highly correlated. And for many studies, they show that this cause the high impact and high damage on the plants. This is the only ozone. This is the combined ozone and peroxides. This is the difference. It's on the many kind of plants. This soybean, this rice, Chinese cabbage, and Chinese cabbage. Japanese radish and Chinese cabbage. It's my question. When I study in Japan, I work with my friend, another friend, Marushima. We work on the receiving. This is the one of the most forest tree in Japan that they go around for the forest. We study about the effect of ozone and peroxides, and we found that on the receiving, the combined is can cause the high reduction and high damage on the receiving. And if you remember on the first slide that I asked you, was that tree, is happened to that tree on the mountain?
Yes.
It's already proved that because of the high ozone and high peroxides that cause the damage of that is the place forest cells. And this is you can see the highly decrease in the biomass and the difference response. You can see OP2 is high peroxide because in Japan, sometimes Japan is close to China. Sometimes the air, because they don't have the boundary for the air, right? Indonesia, the air from Indonesia can go to Thailand, and Thailand can go to Indonesia, and also China can go to Japan, and Japan can go to China. It depends on the wind or many things. And in Japan, sometimes the ozone is very high and peroxide is very high in that mountain, that's one mountain. So it can cause the damage like that because they try to find out that it's because of the drought, because of water, but it's cannot true. And then we can prove that. This is the physiological response of the plant to the ozone and peroxide. It will cause the damage like a visible injury, reduce the chlorophyll content, photosynthetic, and increase some mineral in the plants. And this can cause the decrease of the growth, like a plant height, stem diameter, and the winter bud volume, also biomass. And also the combined peroxide and ozone cause more severe damage than the single ozone. So this is that is for my class, but this is I love this from the Da Vinci. he said like it's not the strongest of the species, that's why, not the most intelligent, that's why. Is one that is the most adaptable to change. Yeah, we can use that for us to, for our life to follow this word from the language. Okay, thank you very much for your kind attention. This is the critical level maybe you would like to know about the for your health. It depends on the situation of the plant. Sometimes the genetic will be modified and changed during the stress and adaptation, but it will be take time. But some plants that can adapt because of the gene expression, because some plants, like a tolerance plant or resistant plant, it have that genetic, it have that gene, but it's not expressed. It will be expressed when they receive the stress, some stress, or some stress. But some plants, it will be adapt. And maybe in last 5 years, it cannot adapt well. Some natural genetic modified will be changed to that condition, and it can be survived and adapted. Yes.
Affecting their phenotype?
Pardon?
Is that affecting their phenotype?
Yes. Yes. But it takes time. Not only one generation, maybe it takes like more than 10 or 20 generations. Thank you. Another question? Do you want to discuss something? Do you want to chat something from Japan? How about Vietnamese? I know that the Vietnamese student also joins program, right? How like Thai student? Very fine. Good flying.
Any questions? No?
Or maybe after class, if you interest, please come to us.
Sorry, I made the other one. With regards to the ozone layer, do you see higher rates of photo inhibition there?
Yes.
Yes, and that in turn leads to the warping of the leaves, so the misshaping of the leaves. You mentioned that for your thesis you were looking at the effects of the ozone and the peroxides.
Yes.
So do you believe it's the effects of the increased photo inhibition, or do you believe it's that's causing the misshaping, or do you think it's the effects of the peroxide that are causing the misshaping, or a combination of the two?
This one, right?
Yes.
I think it's because of the combination. Because we also study only the peroxides.
Right. Okay.
The single peroxide is not cause the damage from the plants for the plants, but combined peroxide and ozone is cause more damage than ozone.
Okay. So you showed us that picture on the first slide of the tree, and you referred to it at the end. You said we believe this is because of the.
This one, right?
Possibly, yeah. You said the picture of the tree, what's caused this, and you said we now believe
Yes,
it is
yes,
the...
yes, yes,
So-
yes.
So do you believe that the ozone is playing more of a role, or do you believe it's the peroxide that's causing this more? Is one more damaging than the other?
It's quite difficult to say that because from our study in the chamber, we found that the single ozone is not the damage, but less than combined.
Right.
But the peroxide, we cannot see the damage
Right.
from the peroxide.
So it upsets the internal biochemistry?
Yes,
or
I
the-
think it's in terms of the chemistry, and also peroxide is have like both organic and inorganic peroxides that maybe cause the when they work with the ozone is caused the more damage.
Do you,
And in this mountain, we measure the ozone and peroxides
right,
on this mountain.
okay.
And we also found that the inorganic peroxides cause more damage than organic peroxides.
All right.
In another research.
Okay. So within the cell biochemistry,
Yes, it's a chemistry.
do you think it is affecting the sort of the chaperone molecules, heat shock proteins, those type of things? Do you think the peroxide is interacting with those?
Yes,
hormones, or-
yes. We think that the peroxides and also the interacting that and work together and cause the more damage. Because when they go to the adenoid linkage, it will combine on both the oxides from the ozone and the hydrogen from the peroxide, and it will be combined together when it go to the leaf, and it change the chemical inside and cause more damage.
Right.
Mhm.
So do you think it's almost acting like reactive oxygen species?
Mhm.
Yeah, exactly
Yes,
like that.
yes.
Right,
Yes.
okay. So does the plant start upregulating superoxide and stuff like that to counteract, or is the plant unable to respond?
Yes, the plant will increase the ROS. ROS is to be increased if that plant, and we also did another research on the soybean with the tolerance soybean that it can reduce the ROS by produce the how can I say another chemical to reduce like antioxidant, some antioxidant
Yes.
to reduce that.
Right, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Other question? Or maybe later. I still be here until the evening.
Thank you very much for considering this very interesting topic. And if lack of water, then the presentation will be stressed. Even also us, when we need a drink, then we have already provided coffee and tea outside, so you can come back in 5 minutes to have next lecture that will be delivered by Dr. Alex. So please have coffee and tea and bring to the inside the class. Okay? Let's give applause again to Dr. Catleya. Thank you very much. And we have small team.
4 modules in my last year. So it's only a little bit, but yeah, it goes very in depth. The exams are very hard.
Just wait a second. Just wait a second.